Hello everyone, this is Steve from StormySky Rail Productions. We're here in Monroe, Wisconsin, and we have
Brian Stackpole of the Hobby Depot. It's my shop, and the basement is my N-scale empire. Layouts, dioramas, you name it, it's N-scale.
So he's going to go ahead and give us a tour around and get some snapshots and some video of all the displays. And please enjoy.
And then the sun comes up.
So what are we looking at here?
These are 3 dioramas that I put together. The upper ones are just Walther's kits that are meant to be taken to meetings. They're battery powered, although I'm not powering them with batteries here. To share a hobby, whether it be model railroading or car building or airplane building, it's all the same skills. The bridge diorama is about 8 weeks of work, and it is a scratch built because we don't get these things in N scale. So I'll reach over here and see if I can do the towboat. If I do it right, actually they're all lit, but I have trouble with these. Were not meant to be lit. I can't get the marine lights on it. There we go. I need a stronger battery. Just kind of fun to do and to create. Kind of show people what can be done with relatively simple kits and materials. I like to work in styrene because I use water-based scenery and they don't warp after I build them. I'm really not set up for... Here's my current diorama that I'm building. And this is a Strauss heel trunnion bascule bridge.
Well, this is like what's coming up on our premiere tomorrow night on StormySky Rail Productions, the Oshkosh bascule bridge.
Okay, that's a regular that's a Scherzer rolling bascule bridge, whereas this is a Strauss heel trunnion.
Okay.
It'll stand up clear of the channel. That's kind of a fun thing. Kit bash buildings, scratch built. I use Woodland Scenics lighting for this too. Another diorama behind you is my power plant complex, which you take away the lighting, it's not nearly as exciting. The lighting just adds pizzazz to it. About 75% of this is scratch built, like this building and everything in it is scratch built.
It turned out great.
Yeah, this is really nice.
Somebody asked me how much material I wasted. No waste.
Wow.
The secret is to plan ahead, think ahead. Actually, that diorama over there has had one of my first failures. I was an electrical contractor for 25 years, so I lit buildings, and when I lit this building, it didn't work. Walther's Mill building that was supposed to be rectangular, and I took front and back, put together, and messed with it. This one's the Main Street, or the Water Street terminal, which is completely messed with, I guess is the best way to say it. This one is running on just batteries. The towboat and the barge that I don't know if you saw up there that I scratch built, those are going under here.
Okay, cool.
It's a retractable pilot house so that it can sneak under the bridges in the Chicago canals without having to lift the bridge.
Wow.
Wow.
Kind of a cool idea. Of course, I've been working on it all week. Last layout's off for public display. Unfinished so people can see structure. two guys could set it up and run at a train show and still talk to people, which to me is the object of the game. A lot of operation. Over in the corner here is my first layout, built 42 years ago. Did a lot of Cub Scout, Girl Scout library programs. When I was younger, I could lift each piece, put it in the van myself, and I'm not young anymore.
So this was the first module?
Yep, this was my first one out for public display. Kids like to see motion, so everything takes care of itself here, except this just stopped. I got some dirty track apparently. Yeah. Well, it's got all the attributes of a big layout. It's just 2.5 by 4 feet. So instead of taking, that's not liking that tree in 2 months. The big room we're going to go into next gets cleaned once a year.
So this is there any particular model, like area this is modeled?
No,
or?
I just like to freelance. I see ideas, I see places, and I just like to create my own version of what I see. And then you don't have to deal with nitpickers either, because nobody knows what it looks like but you.
Right.
I try to maintain the flavor of an operating layout, an operating railroad.
Right.
But we have a little fun doing it, so.
Lots of Wisconsin Southern in here.
Yeah, most of that was done long before Wisconsin Southern had big power. They turn the water towers are turned in a lathe. They're wood. All different ones, except the little plastic knob over here. That was a kit. We'll go in the big room if we get past this diorama. Thank heavens for carts so we can wheel stuff out of the way. This is the little room. We're going into the big room.
Wow.
Watch if I do it right. Gets energized.
Wow.
Lots of detail in here.
It's not fair for those engines. They didn't get a running start.
Uh-huh.
This railroad's, some of it's 33 years old. First two modules are 33 years old. I added this addition last year for people to live in. And no houses to speak of on my layout, so I built a residential complex. Which was kind of fun because this house, the station, the machine shed, all the garages are scratch built.
Wow.
The other stuff, well, like this one is a Walther's kit, Cape Cod house with a garage and walk-in door added onto it, so it's a little unique.
Very detailed, all the LED lights and everything.
Someplace out here there's a train, another train. I've gone back and replaced some of the older structures. The kits that were here were 50-year-old Helgen and Pola kits, and they just didn't have it. So I kit bashed this arrangement more to my liking. There are two little stores down here that I replaced with a new structure. Of course, the kids on the farm wanted something special, so I built them a tree house.
Oh, yeah.
And you're actually standing in the basement of that store right there.
Wow.
used to go to 4 shows a year. I did the national show one year, so that year we did 5. My oldest son was my main helper as he grew up. He's now the lead designer for Athearn Cranes.
Wow.
Yes, my wife's name is Joan. I'm working in year 54 Wheeler. So the least I could do is name the town after her.
That's cool.
How about the weed sprayer train here?
That's scratch built.
Wow.
You know, UP has one there. Tank cars are 85 foot. That was a little big for my railroad, so I built my own version. The locomotive and the spray car are the duplicates, but the tank car is a little short. And I have a very well-behaved parade up front there. You don't see too often, led by a polar bear. And
No. Lions and tigers running loose.
oh yes. We actually have a little Jumanji going on there. We got a rhinoceros coming down the
Oh, yeah.
too. And I don't know if you noticed, but Godzilla's up here on the water tower.
Uh,
Gotta have something for the kids to look at. I not only scratch built buildings and ships, I do railroad cars too. Here's Big Red. This is my my 3rd Schnabel car, my biggest one.
so you scratch built this.
That's totally scratch built.
Wow.
Wow.
Bought the trucks and the people and everything else I did.
Very cool.
So it's actually an end scale or an end track layout that's never been with another end track layout. I always been invited as a self-contained unit, including the national show. There's about 30,000 man hours in my basement.
Wow. Lots of great detail on this.
Well, I kept adding on and adding on because I like to create.
Alright, we can turn back on some sunlight. A lot of industrial over here, it looks like.
Lots of industry, no place for anybody to live, so that's why we had to build the addition on the other end there. Basically, each module was a one-year project. And in the last 3 years, I've gone back and done a lot of detail work and the lighting.
Okay. Yeah, the lighting is really cool. It's just everything's so detailed.
The quarry played out, and they discovered a rare earth mineral in hillside there, so they're using a new shipping point. A lot of scratch building there, including the fire train.
Wow, cool.
This is also the site of the world famous two-story outhouse. It's an idea that really didn't catch on for some reason.
Wow.
So it's tucked away in the woods. Don't ask me what prompted that. I built two of them. There's one over by the backwater too, but this one at least has a TV antenna on top.
There's a train now.
Boy Scouts are on the hill there, burning down the hillside with a white man's fire, and doing some probably not approved activities there on the side of the mountain. My railroad continues to run cabooses.
Yeah.
For one reason, if the train comes around, there's no caboose on it, I know I need to start looking for the rest of the train.
Yeah.
I either use a caboose or a business car in the rear end. Helping to keep track of things.
So I'm gonna back up here and then we'll get the demonstration of that when I get back up, and I'll get some of the layout. Okay, we're ready to go. That's StormySky Rail Productions right there, everybody. Got it right here.
That was a little demo layout. We got a customer moving 3/4 inch radius and a big layout.
So what do we got up here?
We have 72 mostly kit built 144 scale airplanes. They're pretty close to N scale. The vehicles are pretty much N scale. The buildings are scratch built to N scale. As I was saying upstairs, I've got a customer who doesn't finish airplanes, and so I tried to show him what could be done.
Wow.
What should be done. Put it that way. Yeah. The room was actually built back in the 80s when I was electrical contractor on these buildings. It was built for the layout, the volume, the size it is now. And then finished out front there, so we've got a reasonably nice basement. So when Monroe has a train show, which is a really nice, so the guy that runs trains from the downstairs while we're stuff. You do it on the cheap, or you can do a decent job. Little things like the school bus airport and things like that. I saw one of those little simple expansions, and I was, oh, that's cool. Kit, a statue and some cannons, and I cleaned up they were really crude. I cleaned them up, painted them, planted them in the grass there in the corner, and they looked kind of silly. So I made a concrete pad for them, and had some flower pots and some benches for old people to sit on, and that's now my great-great-grandfather, John Brown Stackpole. He was founder of what became Jonesville.
Wow.
Well, it makes an interesting story anyways.
Yeah.
For sure.
And yes, we are chatting up the blondes.
Oh.
And the MGB. Did you see the happy hippo back here? This is my night spot. That was originally a cul-de-sac.
Oh.
And it was just too much real estate to give up, and I wanted to do something kind of fun, so why the happy hippo? It had a few other names, but we settled on the happy hippo. One of my houses was a Z-scale house up here. And Z-scale vehicles to kind of force perspective, but how much forcing can you do in 3 feet? But it was believable. And the other house was the farmhouse, and then up on the corner is a blue Sears house. That was a kit house back after World War II. But that's the only place I had for my people to live. So by creating this, I at least make it a little more believable. It was a fun addition. Appointment, and I was doodling on my phone, just making. I thought, oh, an A-frame. I've always been enamored with A-frame cottages. And so I got home that night and I cut a piece of styrene that looked like a church steeple. So I spread it out, and then I better see if windows and doors fit. And the next thing you know, I'd done the back and found some material for the roof, and it ought to have a deck. And by morning, I had a A-frame in the woods. That was going to be like a Frank Lloyd Wright pointy glass thing, but since I'd already used the A shape, I decided to do something totally off the wall, and I did a California beach house stuck into the hillside there.
Very neat.
And I just kept creating, and that's what it turned out to be. A lot of times I have ideas, goals, let's put it that way, and then I just work my way towards them. Just hours and hours of fun.
Yep.
Now they make that bridge in the show. Started out as 2 walkers, 1 truss, 2 truss bridges, and then I created the entire center. And then created the lanterns, the green one.
want to thank you for the tour today. It was a pleasure. All the neat displays you have here and the talent of the scratch building of the modules and the buildings and etc. And please check out the video. Hit the subscribe button. If you're not subscribed already, hit that like button. And we'll see you down the road. This is Steve from StormySky Rail Productions out.